grooving to my own theme music. I think it's great. Hello, everybody. Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. Welcome to Demystify the Divine. Readings and tools to connect. How is everyone doing? I know we are, I can't believe we're already at the sort of the end, the last few days of June. And I say this every week, so I don't know why I bother just saying it. And I say it to clients too. I think it's a Canadian thing that we just sort of talk about the weather and we talk about how quickly time passes. But
you're Canadian?
I'm Canadian. Yeah. You're just learning that now?
I didn't know that about you.
A boots. Everybody says a boot to boot, which of course I don't say. I say about, but apparently it's close enough for a boot. Oh, someone's got a phoenix. Natisha Williams has a phoenix on her picture. I love that. That's awesome, Natisha. I'm high-fiving you because I'm all about the phoenix and the transformation. That's awesome. So yeah, we're getting ready to go into holiday season. You know, we're getting ready for 4th of July for my Canucks, July 1st. Doing a lot of celebration that way. I know in Canada, they're just getting out of school now. Here in the US, you guys have been out of school for a couple of weeks now. So the summer is in full flux, in full form, and hoping everyone is doing well. Today, when I sort of was preparing for our kind of our meet and greet here, I got that I wasn't actually going to be doing more of a channeling, but I was supposed to pull some cards today. So I'm going to pull some cards, and I was kind of shuffling to sort of get an energy of, okay, what are we talking about today? And to prepare the cards, and this popped out. So I'm going to pull some other cards, but we got the Wheel of Fortune, and this is the Shadowscapes Tarot deck by Barbara Moore. One of my favorite decks ever. It's very whimsical. But the Wheel of Fortune. So what is the Wheel of Fortune all about? Divine order and timing, luck, a change or a shift in your fortunes. So I'm feeling very much when I tap into this energy that this next, I want to say, window of time, whenever this finds you, whenever this video finds you, this window of time is going to really be an opportunity to change things up in a pretty quick way. The thing with the Wheel of Fortune is that sometimes it changes. Well, everything is always working for our highest and best. So I need to say that. But sometimes we put a little judgment on it. Sometimes we're a little tunnel vision about it, and we're like, yeah, I would have rather had that be smooth, or I didn't want that thing to not be there, or that, that particular plan of mine to fall apart, or to not come to fruition in the way I thought it was supposed to be. So the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like sometimes it's a sticky wicket because you're not really sure. It's, again, the Wheel of Fortune, it's like gambling, taking risks. It's a crapshoot, literally. Who knows how it's going to turn out? But I do feel that this next sort of window of time, it is about understanding that anything that you do want to shift or change, the energies are going to support you in that. And, it's interesting that I use the word risk. I do see that risk definitely is associated with this card in various ways. But I'm hearing also that right now is a time for us to be more open to risk, to be more open to not doing everything status quo, because the whole world is in flux. We've been in flux for a while. It's been 3 years. We need to kind of get into that space of it is what it is. And, let's keep on keeping on. So I feel like this is a week, a period of time and energy to embrace risk. When we look at this card in particular, you see the wheel and you see a lot of this yellow. So we've got these, sort of Celtic braids, Celtic knots, all within the circle, but some are not as defined as others. And what I'm seeing is that some of the definitions, some of the plans, some of what has always been is dissolving. That's why we're seeing all of the yellow sort of dissolving. So it's not the Tower card where, oh my God, something just completely unexpected happened and I don't know, where to go with that. It's more of a, okay, I have the opportunity to make some changes. And it might not go in exactly the way I would ideally like it, but it's definitely going to go in the way that it needs to, so that I can get to that next level or the next phase or the next stage of where I'm going. And I'm just going to pull two more cards. I feel like one is sort of a clarifying card around, the energies of what's going to shift or change or what we can focus on. And then this third card that I'm pulling, I feel is just going to be sort of general connection to the universe, having a conversation with the universe. What does the universe really want us to know today? So we're tapping in energetically today. Okay, so the clarifying card for the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Six of Pentacles. And I think this is fascinating. So we were talking about risk. This is reinvestment. So there's almost an energy of risk and reward. When you take the risk, someone is going to invest in you. Or when you take the risk, you are reinvesting in yourself. When we're talking about Pentacles energy, it's often connected to the earth element, the realm of the physical, the tangible. The thought that you had has now become a thing. And the Wheel of Fortune has kind of taken that thought, processed the feeling that you attach to that thought, spins it all around, and this is what gets spit out, right? So I feel very much that you want to be considering at this time what you are. So if we're talking about sort of the risk and the reward, and we're talking about that divine order, what have you got to lose is really what I'm hearing. Look at the areas of your life that are shifting, or that you're feeling, okay, yeah, this is coming up. The winds of change are coming up. And intuitively, this is kind of the hit I'm getting, that this is going to be shifted, not this over here that I might think needs to be shifted, but this is going to be it. Or maybe it is the thing that you're like, yeah, I know I've been in that shift for a while. I guess there's one more shift to come. So you want to really be present with, I want to say, kind of the why. And really embracing that understanding that, okay, it's going to happen pretty quickly for me. This winds of change is here for me. I also want to say that in general, as you're tapping into this particular energy, I'm hearing the word preparation. So it's not just, okay, the winds of change come through and now all of a sudden, somebody's putting a bunch of money in my hands, or I'm now having all of this time to devote to my self-care or my self-awareness. I feel like there's intention around this. So preparation, it's sensing it, feeling into it, making a decision or determination on the path, and then taking the steps to prepare. Because, he's sitting on this ledge, and he's not at the tip of the ledge. He's sitting back a little bit further. So he's still high up. He is on the ledge. If he were to shift out up to here without any kind of preparation, if he was carrying a lot of baggage, he might be too heavy for the outskirts of that ledge. So he's sitting on the pillar part. So I feel like there's been preparation. He's smart about it. He's going up there. He's playing his music. He's excited about the world. He's happy to give of his resources and to give of himself and his skill set and his gifts. But he's done his homework. He knows if I'm sitting out too far on the ledge, things are not going to be great. So risk with, I want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? Like thought, well thought out plan. That's what it is. It's a well thought out plan. So preparation. And then what does the universe sort of want us to know or need us to know right now? Oh, I love this card. Six of Swords. Six of Swords is a card of support and grace. And so the universe wants us to know that it's got our front, back, sides, bottom, and top. So no matter what it is that you've got going on in your world right now, I feel that this is a direct message to you in your inner world, your outer world, the collective world. This is a direct message. Everything is going to be okay. There is a plan. We understand that things are not easy. We understand that things are not simple, that they're not comfortable even. We understand that you're struggling with this, that every day sometimes feels like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And yet we are here to say to you, we got you. There's harmony in all of this. And the wind, we're the wind beneath your wings, or the wind within the sails, right? Wind is everywhere. Air is everywhere. Even in those, spaces and places where it feels like we're like, oh my God, I can't breathe. There really still is oxygen, because the oxygen fills the world, right? So it's understanding the universe is everywhere. That universal energy is everywhere. Source energy is everywhere. So when you are feeling like, I don't know if I can go on in this direction, or wow, this really is painful, or this is an extremely uncomfortable, time or place or decision that I'm being faced with, stop and breathe. And it's not about breathing to calm yourself in the ways that we think of meditation and breath work. It's breathing in the air because you're breathing in source. It's a reminder that you are one with source, and that support is all around you. I also love all of the crows here, because the crows, they're 2 worlds, 1 foot in each world. Like, they can be in our world here, and they can also be in the shadow world, in the underworld. And it's not because they're deep and dark and dastardly, to use the alliteration. It's more that is one of the purposes that they serve, is to help us to find, I want to say, sort of the balance, the connection between the two. They're there as a tool. They're there to help us, and they're there also to show us how to be in both worlds, how to be able to, embrace the shadow, and at the same time be able to leave the shadow and incorporate what you've learned into the light, and vice versa. Because at the end of the day, it's about the wholeness. It's about completion. It's about us understanding that we're really trying to integrate all aspects of ourselves. We're judgers, judgersons. We constantly judge a thing as good or bad, right or wrong, up or down, in or out. Spirit and source says all of it matters. All of it is connected to love. It's just a different frequency and density of love. I would say a different consistency of love. And this is what we are here to learn, to open ourselves to, and to embrace. We have to get out of our own way to be able to do so. And so the 6 of Swords is coming through to say, and I just noticed we have 2 6s, so that's significant as well. I'll talk about that in a second. But it's coming through to say, we got you. Swords is also the realm of the mind, mental energy, communications, contracts, things of that nature. So I do feel that this particular period of time that you're finding yourself in as well, if you have to sign anything, it's a good time to sign. It's a safe thing to do. If you've made the commitment and you've decided, yep, I'm going to go ahead with this commitment, and so I'm going to sign this contract, and I feel confident with that, the universe is saying, yeah, it's a good time to sign that contract. It's safe to do so. That contract's going to bring you harmony and balance in your life. It's going to help to realign you to where you're going and growing. And if you notice, there's a beautiful swan and an angel, sort of a swan angel, that is, sort of picking you up and taking you where you need to go. And the crows are keeping watch. So there's a lot of protection here. The 2 6s is really interesting, because the 6 is about harmony, balance, and alignment. And when you get 2 of them, it's definitely that energy of you are creating, the 6 and 6 is 12, which is a 3, creation. You are creating the alignment. You're creating the harmony and balance, because you're choosing to pay attention to the energies that are around you, and you're choosing to use them as a resource to get you to where you want to be. So, wow, that's a great message from the universe. I mean, who didn't need to hear that? Because I know I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that no matter what is going on, no matter how I see it or how I judge it, everything is working out the way it's supposed to. And, you know, the Wheel of Fortune energy is spinning around. So yeah, change is in the air and we get to embrace it. We're getting the heads up that it's coming. We get to embrace it. All right. That's enough of me waxing poetic. Keon, let's dive on in.
We got 2 6s. I put up. I'm glad, just as long as we don't get a third one. We don't have anyone live on, so that's a first.
Oh.
No, that is a first. So we're gonna go straight to the good old wheel.
Love it.
We're gonna read. So as I put in the chat, everybody, I know some of you have specific questions. What we do now is if you're in the wheel and you get pulled, you either get a card pull or you get guidance, whatever whatever Stacy feels like she should give you, okay? So here we go. Got all of our people in here. Who we got? Let's see. The Black Feather Intuitive Wheel of Guidance.
I love it.
And we've got
Phoenix. I feel like I might have manifested that too, because I was like, oh, I love the Phoenix. All right. So if I'm pronouncing it right, Natisha, would you like card pull or would you like, do you have a specific question that you'd like some guidance on? You can put it in the chat. I don't know. Does the chat come through to you right away?
It does, but sometimes it depends if they dropped or not. So that's why I usually say we'll go with the guidance that you feel if you want to pull a card or give them guidance. But she says, yes, that's perfect. Whatever you feel.
Awesome. So as I was shuffling, just to sort of prepare and see what was coming up, this card flipped out. So I feel like the cards said, no, we want to talk. We want to talk. We don't need a question. We're just going to talk about this. So we talked about the Six of Pentacles. So we kind of know about the Pentacle energy for you. You got Queen of Pentacles. This is one of my favorite cards because it sort of, I want to say it leans into Empress energy in a lot of ways. The Queen of Pentacles is really about, I have everything I need. And not only do I have everything I need, I've prepared, I'm pretty relaxed about what's going on. And when you come into my space, I'm going to greet you with open arms, and whatever you need, I'm going to provide. But there is a cost. And the cost is not the, oh my God, you have to, give up your firstborn child. The cost is, okay, I'm going to give this to you, but you also need to learn how to be able to do this for yourself. Or I'm going to teach you how to, I'm going to give you a taste of what you're asking for, but I'm also going to show you how you can do this too. So the Queen of Pentacles is almost like an elevated, like that mentor, that teacher, grasshopper kind of thing. And I feel like talking about all of this for you when we're tapping into this energy in this time frame for you, I feel like there's two messages coming through. One, you are going to be a mentor for somebody where you are passing on wisdom and knowledge. I'm hearing that's going to happen within the next week. I'm going to get into that in a second. The B message, or the second message, is your guides really are wanting you to hone in on your skills and abilities. It's time for you to recognize, oh, I actually have all of this stuff going on, and I keep not giving away your power so much, but I keep leaning into others. The analogy I'm getting in my head is, when we go from novice in that space of learning everything and you're learning from so many people to you think, oh my God, there's so much to know and I'm never going to get there, to all of a sudden you start like attending class or taking new classes on different things, whether it's spiritual or otherwise. And you start to recognize, well, geez, I could have taught that class, or, oh, this is all stuff that I already know. That's where you're at. And I'm hearing from a work perspective, it's kind of like you're coming to a particular period of time or a window of time in your career where you're recognizing, you know what? It is time for me to level up. I'm outgrowing this aspect of things. The student is now becoming the master, or strongly on that path of mastery. So I'm really feeling like for you, your guides specifically are saying it's time for you to embrace the Queen of Pentacles, because not only can this be you, where you're giving this information to others, but it also is this energy of the Queen of Pentacles saying to you, it's time for you to pick up the gauntlet. It's time for you to take a risk and to trust all of the knowledge that you've been working to create and to develop and to grow. You're going to get an opportunity this week coming up. I want to say it's connected to this up-leveling, but I'm also hearing there's an and I don't know if they're the same opportunity or a different opportunity. It feels almost like someone is going to hand you something that you've always wanted, but you never really thought you were really ever prepared for it. And so kind of the story you've been telling yourself for a long time is, oh, well, that's going to be, years down the road. And whatever this opportunity is, when it's presented, your initial reaction is going to be, or your initial response is going to be, oh, I wish, or if only, or, oh, I'm so flattered that you think that I can do that. And then you're going to get into that space, hi, Neo. You're going to get into that space of ding, ding, ding. Wait a second. Why am I turning this down? Because actually, I think I can do this. Actually, I think this is my time. And so I do feel that there's a realization and a recognition of how far you've come with your skill set. So I feel like I'm kind of going round and round in circles, but the Queen of Pentacles is coming through to be your mentor and to remind you that this is who you are for a lot of people. So that final little message, I feel that you're going to be a mentor for someone that's going to be very unexpected. The mentorship is going to be sort of short and sweet. It might even pack a little bit of a punch. It might be a little bit intense as it occurs, but understand that energetically, whatever it is you say, however it is you say it, for the duration of time that you're passing on the information, you're literally changing this person's outlook on life. That's not the intention in terms of what you're teaching and what you're passing on, but the way that you are sharing that information is going to change the perspective of that person's life forever. So don't ever, I want to say, negate the little things. Like everything you say and everything you do matters in really big ways. Wow. I hope some of that made sense to you. I'm seeing I dreamed about a cat last night that looks just like yours. Aw. Yeah, Mr. Neo, he's so funny. And he just always has to be in the spotlight. He always has to make sure that everybody knows that he's here, that he exists.
Yeah, no, he does it. Oh, I hit the button already. My fingers are too fast.
That's all good.
Richard.
Yay! Woohoo! All right, Rick. Does Rick want a card pull?
Uh-oh, that's not you. That's me. Richard will take anything he can get.
All right. Yay! You got the Sun card. So first thing I'm hearing is there's going to be a little bit of truth revealed. I feel like this is coming up for you. I'm actually hearing within the next couple of days. The truth that is revealed is something that you have wondered, contemplated for a really long time. Your spidey senses have not always been like all in with that. So there's always been a little bit of like, I want to say a little bit of doubt. Like, I think it's this, but I'm not 100% sure. Always a little bit wishy-washy. Well, I feel like in the next couple of days, that truth revealed is coming through. And how is that going to affect you? So the truth revealed is something that I want to say feels a little bit once removed from you. So it's kind of like finding out that you always suspected that one of your favorite singers was married, but you didn't know for sure, for example. I don't know why I'm pulling this out of my butt, but here it is. Here's the analogy. And you don't know for sure. Well, all of a sudden, the paparazzi releases these pictures and it's now official. They've been hiding it for, 7 years. Well, now it's official. They are together and here's what it is. So it's once removed from you. It's not something that's going to, I want to say, completely, change your world, in that inner circle space. But I do feel that it's going to be really super interesting for you. It's going to give you a lot of food for thought. You're really going to get a lot of enjoyment out of processing and imagining, taking it further. Okay, now that this was this, maybe I can go backwards and see, okay, I doubted myself there, but I didn't need to. And here was the sign. And moving forward, what does this mean? If this truth is real over here, how does that connect the dots with some of these other truths? So I feel like it's going to be entertaining for you and gives you something to ponder, to, I want to say, sink your sort of metaphysical teeth into. Also, I'm really loving, I don't know what type of bird this is, but it's got like a super long beak and it's got a little crown on its head. I always pick up the birds with you because I do know that you enjoy birds as well. And you've got a lot of bird feeders and all that kind of stuff. I feel like this particular bird with the long beak it's like somebody sticking their nose where it doesn't belong and having a far reach. So smelling something from a mile away, or having a far reach where it almost comes out of the blue and you're like, no, I told you weren't invited, or I told you weren't welcome here. And just because you have a long beak and your beak arrives before you do doesn't change my boundary or doesn't change my rules. This is definitely connected to a person. So I want to say a person with an interesting personality that sticks their nose in other people's business. Not gossip as much as, I'm going to say, busybody. Someone who knows better than you, what you're supposed to do, always has an opinion. And often that opinion is the opposite to whatever it is that you've, sort of declared or discussed that you're going to do. So again, this message doesn't feel like it's going to affect tons of, stuff in your inner circle. But I do feel, again, it's going to be entertaining. And it's also going to be for you. You're going to look at that and you're going to go, okay, here we go again. I walked right into that one. I walked into it. So you already kind of know where things are at and where things are going. You just kind of forget. And all of a sudden, you're pretty quickly reminded by something this person has said, or, how it's sort of unfolding. And you can choose to, I want to say, feed them misinformation. You can choose to, batten down the hatches right away and express your boundaries, or you can choose to just sort of sit back and, get a little laugh or a little chuckle out of letting them run with that information and run themselves out because you're not engaging necessarily. So you have options. You're not hurting anybody by doing this. I want to say, you're being entertained. And there's really we're always teachers and students to one another. There is opportunity to sort of teach, but I feel like silence is golden when it comes to that. So sitting back and really not reacting, not saying much, is going to be the lesson. That's what's going to, I want to say, teach the lesson the most or the easiest. So there you go, Rick. I'm always giving you weird, esoteric, kind of out there readings. I don't know why that just comes through for you, but there you go. The sun is great because the sun is truth and the sun is joy. So embrace that. And again, feeling like for you, it's, the next couple of days rather than, talking weeks out or months out. It feels like it's the next couple of days. So enjoy that.
All right, Stacey, I know you have something extremely important to take care of. Are we squeezing one more in there, or are we wrapping up for the day?
I actually think I do need to wrap up at this time and really keep to the half hour, which is unusual for me to actually keep to my time. But it was so great to see everyone today. Really, I just want to say to you, as you're celebrating the holiday, however you're celebrating the holiday, really take the time to connect with yourself, kind of let go of all of the, I want to say the, any kind of frustration or any kind of, it has to go a certain way in order for me to relax or in order for me to be happy. Be in flow and give yourself the space to, I want to say, have a little bit of fun, play around a little bit. Everybody talks about that with the holidays. So it's kind of like a duh, well, okay, Stace. That's what I'm getting is we need more play in our lives. We need more fun. This is a great time. And it's not just because it's the holiday. It's like the holiday is there to remind us of what we really want to be kind of bringing into our energy field on the daily. So keep that in mind. Go out, be free, have fun. Feel free if you're needing some connection or needing some guidance. Feel free to reach out. I'm still booking my 30 and 60-minute experiences. I've got the channeled wisdom, which has been hugely popular. So if you're wanting to connect directly with your guides, that's a great way to do it, to get a direct message from the archangels or your guides or my guides coming through to tell you stuff that you need to know. So it's really cool. Like, subscribe, and click the bell on that YouTube. Every like helps. Every subscription helps. Sending everyone so much love.